Good morning, YouTube. 10:13 a.m. 1/4/2021. To start with, I had an individual, won't mention any names, but there was a question in there about Satan and man, and God repenting man, but not Satan. Now, I went through and dug. I'm not sure exactly where chapter and verse was, but for what little bit of knowledge I do have about our constructed Bible, there being and understanding that God being omnipresent and supposedly knowing all, okay, it's almost like a small telltale sign that we all get it wrong sometimes. For me, not, I mean, a lot of people's going to disagree with that because it's God, okay, but for us to be made in their image and us to follow suit and being co-creators of everything, we're do mistakes, are we not? We do it all the time, daily. We get up making choices as soon as we get out of bed. Even the choice of getting out of bed is a choice. But I think maybe that the reason why it was quoted the way it was quoted, he created a chaos that his outcome of it was a betterment of people and things, and being that Satan had the same emotions that we do. Okay, we have pride, every one of us. So did Satan. So if we're made in their image, it sounds an awful lot like we're just, or they're just as almost as human as we are, other than the greater powers that they obtain. So I believe maybe that was the reason why that he didn't repent against Satan, being Satan was the first over before us. But then when God seen what he had done and said what he said, then he gave dominion, okay, to the humans over the angels. Okay, that was basically, for me, my understanding was a way to squash the situation. Okay, then Satan had to make his choices to do the right or the wrong. That's how I'm perceiving it. I could be wrong, and we all have opinions, like, all of us got buttholes. But anyway, to try to answer that question, I guess it was rephrased as a question. It's been kind of chewing in the back of my head for for a little while since my subscriber sent it to me, and that's my understanding of the situation. I mean, you as an individual see it in a different perspective because it's kind of confusing and don't sound quite right. But if you put the shoe on the other foot, so to speak, like we have to do daily sometimes, to look at another person's view, don't mean it's always right, don't mean it's always wrong either. But anyway, I'll get off of that. And for me, something dawned on me this morning. 1/4/2021. Okay, I was watching some Lynn Wood videos where he had been, people had done interviews with him. And I don't think, I just say that I think we're putting all of our thoughts and our abilities for someone to be a savior for us, known as Donald Trump, uh, but him being just a tool in all this. And the plan and the outcome is from God. And what I mean by this is, I feel like right now there might be a handful of people on this earth that actually knows what's going on. The rest of us, it's all speculation. It's all the butthole syndrome scenario. All of us has got an opinion. That's all I can do. That's all I can glean from knowing that there's a lot of things that's got to be changed. There's a lot of people needs to be put in prison for multiple crimes. Okay. Um, we have a lot of bureaucrats that thinks they're lawmakers and lawgivers, and they are not. That's been going on for a while. You got like the ATF. They're running around. They're bureaucratic law organizations that's making their own fucking laws inside their house. Okay. One, they do not have the ability to fucking do so, but they think they do. Okay. Somebody had to implant some kind of ignorance in their motherfucking head to make them think they're something they're not. They're still fucking an employee that's supposed to be following rules and regulations. Okay. If anything is being showed right now to all of us is for the why all of us, well, there's a lot of us out here. It's done woke complete the hell up and been knowing. Um, Start off knowing when you see and you feel it in your gut something's not quite right, but you can't take it from the gut, run it into the heart, back through the mind to see how it's put together. Now it's just being blatantly thrown at us like a piece of spaghetti or some kind of pasta being slung at the wall. Okay, we can all come to basic conclusions on what needs to be done. Okay, I do believe that Trump will be our president again for another 4 years. But I also believe that a lot of our so called leaders do not have one iota of a clue on what the hell is going on and what they are supposed to be doing. I believe they're running against, they're just running 1,000 miles an hour and smacking a brick wall. Um, it should be pretty obvious. Okay. I don't look for Trump to even do any kind of martial law or any half martial law. I don't look for him to do any of it. You know, I think he's waiting on us to get on our fucking knees. I like Trump. I feel like he's probably the right thing in God's eyes and moving in the right direction, but I don't care who you are and how smart you think you is. You can be fooled. You can be buffaloed. You can be bullshitted. Okay. The thing Trump's waiting on, and I think it'll become more obvious to a lot more people once they see it January 6th. I believe there's going to be a lot of truth spoken January 6th, but I believe at the same time, Trump's trying to tell the general public, which is us, what we need to be doing. Okay? And that's him giving us advice for us to take and move forward with. But at the same time, him knowing he's the biggest leader now on this planet as a human being. We've known for a very long time in our own guts, and even down to mind wise, knowing, okay, what right is, what wrong is. And we've seen all the wrong. And myself, for a lot of people, they look at me like I sound crazy when I say it, but I think we need such a reset here in the United States to take certain things that we glorify. And not saying all of us do, but I'm just saying such a mass population does, because it's been bestowed in them in ways to where it looks innocent. Okay, money, before it's a tool, and used in the correct way, it's a wonderful thing. Used in the wrong way, it's an awful thing. Okay, we've been watching the tool, money, overtake our lives in so many different ways that ain't funny. Um, then this 5D awakening thing that people keep talking about, and our energetic planets lining up, and all this other um, so-called changes. Okay, well, I've been lucky enough to be in a situation where I'm at, to where you would think I would be able to feel and see these things more prevalent than most people, because I'm kind of out of the way. I'm kind of in a situation of where I don't get messed with a lot, other than my computer at times. Uh, my neighbors don't play games with me. We are on good standing, and hi bye and kiss my ass sometimes. Uh, how you been doing? Doing great. Uh, get to see that you're up and moving around. The everyday conjunction of being a good neighbor. Okay. The next thing is, we as people have to have an understanding. We do not have no masters here. Okay. This is where so many people are confounded over that diaper that they're wearing on their face. For whatever reasons, they want to wear them. Like I said, that's more terrifying and scary to me than the actual woo-foo itself. Okay, because these people, before all this come about, had a brain. They was thinking, capable, uh, grown as adult human beings until this come along. Okay, I believe that's another thing Trump's trying to get everybody to have an understanding about. Uh, no, I don't believe in the vaccines. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. It's another way for the underbelly known as the dark side, the deep state, the globalists, the NWO, many fucking names. Well, legions have many names for the ones that understand the Bible. So it keeps changing. It keeps name keep changing. Then their plans got run off the rails. Now they're trying to get their plan back on the rails for the so-called global reset, so they can make us even more of a monetary slave to the system. That we need to fight. The second thing we all need to fight and stand up against is having an understanding. Like I said, we do not have no master here on this earth when you can think for yourself. Make choices for yourself. For or if you choose to keep running around with that diaper on your face, they just made shoes day before yesterday that fit your needs, because that's where you're at. Your feet is an illusion to stand up. They took that away from you all, okay? Until that awakening comes into the mass population, which I see it happening slowly. And I think somehow or another it should be more prevalent and quicker. Um, I'm foolish to think so, or it does for a lot of us. It will not for a lot of other people, because their constructive way of being taught and brought up, that they have not a clue that the people that they think are their masters, leaders, okay, are not. But see, they perceive them to be this. They perceive them to be something they are not. So until people really gets their handle, or their mind, heart, and gut is in one, okay. Some people call it a chakras, okay. But I found out through my own study and research that there's many truths in everything. There's also many lies in the same things, but it's up to the individual to see through the lies and deceit, just to see the small parts of the truth that's there. But anyway, like I said, I don't think, but maybe 5, 10 people throughout the world probably understands what's really going on. We all have, like I said, the butthole scenario as opinions. So we all are opinionated. We all have our own way of cycling through what we think is the truth. But until enough people get on the same page, that truth that we project in ourselves and have an understanding of knowing is going to only take flight in our lives, not everybody else's. I know it sounds strange, but we are all individuals. We was all created to have choices daily. So that means I have to make a choice of whatever I do in a day, uh, multiple hundreds of choices a day, just like everybody else does. And if we was all building, let's say if we was all building the identical building, okay, and half of us had blueprints and half of us didn't, okay, the people that didn't have the blueprints, they're going to have to use thought and logic and choice on what gets done first, versus the end result. One with the blueprints is just going to follow the blueprints. Okay, they'll probably end up getting uh, most of their building built before the people without the blueprints. But he gave us back something that a lot of us ain't had in years, and that is the choice to know. And like I said, I don't think over half of these people understand that they're being ruled and regulated over daily by a bunch of bureaucrats. Not somebody they voted in office, but a bunch of people that thinks they know better for you and me what we should be doing daily. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I wipe my own ass. I blow my own nose. I choose for what I eat. I choose to keep a habit that I should have gotten rid of years ago, known as smoking. Okay, it's one of the for me, and I set myself up for my own failure by saying what I'm saying. Uh, it is one of the most incrediblest, hardest things to break that I ever run into in my life. I've done smoked a lot of meth. I've done smoked a lot of crack. Um, I've done some of the best drugs in the world. Walked away from every damn one of them. Meth almost got me, almost. But I felt it at the right time in my life, and I was in the right situation to where I couldn't just reach and grab it. I was out in traffic riding around. I was going to somebody's house or going to work or something. I can't remember what it was, or coming back from work. But that urge was there, and I was gritting my teeth and thinking about it. And that's when the little voice back of my head rung in. God talking to me, you know. You get home, flush it. That's what I done because I knew if I was jonesing for it that much, that it had a hold of me, but I had a choice right now to stop it before it got any further. And I made the right choice on that behalf. Okay. Like I said, I still think that a lot of us are gleaming on the hopes of somebody to help us. And there ain't no help in this situation. Choice and change is our own daily in our own lives. Now, for the ones that paying attention and watching you and me, has an understanding, okay, these people was moving on with their lives with all this crazy shit going on in our White House. Up until, I ain't gonna lie, up until maybe 5 years ago, I had no real interest to know what was going on in that so-called White House. Um, then all of a sudden, I started digging in and thought I actually had a say-so, and I've noticed uh, the only real say-so we got is if we band together as we the people, we have a say-so. Okay, but at the same time, they use that term religiously against us. We the people, the left and the right, the Democrat, the Republican, all of anybody that's got anything good for we the people or anything that anybody's got bad for we the people. They use that fucking terminology. So it's a terminology that you just like a tennis match. We're just getting bounced back and forth across that net. And this is not a video to discourage hope or having an understanding there will be an end to this. Uh, I can't say when, where. I don't like setting dates. But like I said before, I believe the 6th is going to play out, hopefully, to have a lot of people understand what is really going on. It's done gotten so. It's done gotten to the point of it looks so bad that there is no good healthy outcome. For me, I just don't see Trump not being able to use the military, but I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it for whatever his perception of what kind of little dingleberry that's running around in his head about his outcome and what he's supposed to projects and what he uh, perceives himself by the general public and the underlings they call his peers, okay, uh, somehow or another I still feel like he don't want to be the person that's going to be hated, okay, even though I feel like, and a lot of other people feel like, that this is what needs to happen to wake up the rest of the fucking population. Uh, I think it'd be woke up real fast when they stick their head out the door, and they've been running their fucking mouth about Trump for years, and then all of a sudden there's military running up and down the fucking street, tanks, helicopters, and they stick that fucking stupid out the door and ask what's going on, and say, well, you've been part of it the whole time, okay? This was the last resort. Uh, you chose not to believe what the truth is right in your face. So here's the outcome of you not putting yourself in the right position and having an understanding, okay, that you was helping move this stuff forward, or you was helping trying to destroy it. That's where we stand. Now we can all make videos. We can all voice our opinions on where we can. And I believe also a lot of these people, and I've seen it. When I sat there for almost 2 days pumping a video out there about Nashville, showing this rocket, whatever, coming in, or a DEW, a directed energy weapon, to everybody that was out here with all these big platforms and numbers, cussed them out and every damn thing else, and not a damn one of them had the fucking nuts to cuss me out, tell me I was wrong, tell me you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, with video evidence. Finally, L.A. Marzulli, okay, Christian man, I know some of y'all know who I'm talking about, um, showed that video. I felt justified. Finally, somebody listened and showed the fucking video, okay, that had a bigger, way bigger platform than mine. Because these other people, they wasn't willing to listen. This is another situation that we find ourselves in, don't we? You know, it's like, it's wrong for me to say this because I don't know everybody's heart. But you get this impression. Start off you watching somebody. They start off, 3, 4,000 followers, subscriptions, or whatever. Then it seems like overnight they blow up and several 100,000 or better. Okay, but before they got to them several 100,000, they seemed like they was more down to earth, more willing to promote or show things that they didn't really have a clue on knowing if it was real or not, but was willing to show under their understanding that they understood that this could be the truth. They won't even do that now. So that's them doing the same thing that Trump does right now. Because he's fearful of somebody calling him a bad name, or he'll go down in history as a bad president. Uh, what little bureaucratic bastard standing there telling him this in his ear? Okay? 75 million motherfuckers voted for Trump. Okay? Forgive me of my motherfuckers, okay? But if you don't have quite the understanding what that means, That little bureaucrat bastard is standing beside you going, you need to take your two fingers and poke that motherfucker in the eye. Get up, kick him in the fucking nuts, and push him out in the hall. Because he's no good. Period. A lot of people, I wish we could go back. We can, and it's already been done. I watch a lot of people off grid, and some people has brought their um, financial status is way up by going back 100 fucking years. Okay, starting a farm, them, wife, kids, doing the correct things, making themselves debt free, making themselves food free from having to go to a damn grocery store, completely trying to get every hook that's been hooked in them since birth cut out, released. We actually get back to this direction, there won't be no need for a damn government. Then you got these foolish idiots. Well, if we get rid of the government, how are we gonna get this done? How are we gonna get that done? Well, these super highways wasn't built back when our forefathers was around, was they? These so-called great architects wasn't. I mean, there was some good ones back then, but now we have these populations of people, okay, that they think they think convenience is more prevalent and more uh, something they want other than the things they really need. Okay, I don't need 7-Elevens within 7 blocks of me. I don't need 548 fucking grocery stores around me. You know, there's got to be a balance, and I believe a lot of us are starting to see that. But remind yourself when you do start off, if you do decide to start in this direction, for whatever you can do, the first thing you need to do is get yourself out of debt, because debt is a ruler. These people set it up this way. But once you find yourself out of debt, uh, your mind is going to sway in other directions. I'll just warn you about that up front. But if you keep to a plan, you build you a farm, just like our forefathers built this fucking country. Um, put yourself in it, keep yourself busy in it. Um, there's a scripture, um, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And that's exactly what we got going on right now. What we're all experiencing is one day we're up, next day we're down. Okay? If us to have a positive outlook and knowing what's coming is to be the end of all this stupidity, would be that'd be a wonderful, thoughtful thing. Okay? The Garcia Narcia. Okay. I just watched a video day before yesterday, and it's in Tennessee, a Parthenon that was built in fucking Tennessee. Got Athena in it and everything. Then you start digging through closer to the end of the video. The guy actually shows the term Garcia Narcia. And here again, it got thrown out since the 70s, 14th Amendment. But being what we think it is and what it started off being, say, several hundred years back, or maybe a little older than that, it's not quite what we think it might be. I couldn't get the gist of how, because it was done in Greek and Roman uh, language, and broken up to where I quite didn't understand the whole sentence structure, other than the Garcia and Narcia. And it was put out many years before the lawsuit with the farmers. And there were some things in there that I just like, what the hell? You know, why did we have to drag uh, a country, say, or a place like Rome into our infrastructure, or the Egyptians? Why did we have to drag that into our structures, our things? This was supposed to be our country. What forefathers or what individuals was laying out the demonic plan? Okay, the twisted circle of righteous or unrighteous, and why did it have to be pushed out this far before we start realizing what was going on? And it starts with us, you all, whether we see it or not right now. And the sixth, I believe, is going to be a little bit more towards this that I speak of for whatever reason. Okay, I just feel like that's going to be part of it. And like I said, I don't believe there might be 10 people in this whole world knows exactly what is going on. And I don't mean the 10 members of Q. Okay, I'm actually getting the impression that the people that's running around in the circus known as our government, uh, more than half of them don't understand. Um, I think it was the Act of 1870 or 1780 when they repatented the government and turned it into their corporation, uh, shelved our Constitution, but used it in such a manner to where it made it believable to us that it was still in play, which they knew that they couldn't really never get it out of play because the Constitution and our Bill of Rights and our having an understanding that we had inalienable rights by God. They knew they could not never take that from us. So it had to be put in a format and in a way to where we believed we still had something that wasn't at play. And they never could show their hand in it other than twist and turn it and, yeah, that law can be beat, or this law can be beat. Yeah, look how many libraries in the years, like I said before, floor to fucking ceiling, 3, 4, 5 stories tall, biggest fucking football fields, plumb full of law, okay? If it worked, do you think we really needed that much fucking law? Really? Really? Common law is pretty simple. You do unto others as others do unto you. You don't run around trying to hurt an individual, okay? And you ask for the same respect back. You're not trying to kill nobody. You're not trying to destroy somebody's property. What was that, 4 things? 4 simple things. But we got what, 260 years of law libraries? They took simple and squeezed every bit of blood they could out of it for their own usage. Because these simple things is what made that little bit of truth they needed to go forth in their lives. Then they created mountains of them. And constantly, even yet to today, they're still doing the same thing. Peace to all y'all. 40 minutes in, didn't want to push this that far, but hey, I did. But anyway, y'all, peace to all y'all. Have a good day, and know that your future is your own. Your outlook on life is your own. Your willing to move forward in your life is your own. This is another thing they keep trying to make us come together as we the people. But at the same time, that term's only supposed to be used in one direction. That's to make sure that we understand that our elected leaders are our employees. That's all the fuck it's about. Well, like I said, the old saying is you give them an inch, they take a mile. Well, these motherfuckers, you give them an inch and they took 500 miles. So, peace to all y'all.